Hi, my name is Shay Walker, and I'm creating this video to spread awareness about somebody that got out of prison today. Or actually, he got out Monday, but I found out this morning. Mack Andrews Jr. was arrested in 2013 for multiple counts of rape, sodomy, and sexual torture against children. I was the original person that started the case against Mack. He raped away my childhood while he was my pastor and the principal of my school in Thomasville, Alabama. It was the United Pentecostal Church. Faith Christian Academy was the name of the school. My mom, after my father passed away, got us involved in this church, and for several years we were in his cult. I say it was a cult because it was a cult. We went 5 to 7 times a week. We were there day in and day out. He ran the church and our household. He told my mom what to do. He molested me and groomed me for years before he eventually penetrated and raped me on my father's grave. That's where I lost my virginity at, from Mack Andrews. He went on to sodomize and torture me and several other people in the youth group of the church. He was convicted for their rapes and sodomies, but not mine, and not all of them. He was convicted for some of the victims. Not everybody came forth or would testify against him. While he was in jail, there were victims of his that were putting money on his books and visiting him that were on the victims list that he had heard. He was very much a brainwasher and a manipulator and a leader to his people in all the cultmatic ways that you can think of. My point is, he was a manipulator and able to snow a lot of people for over 2 decades into believing that he was a righteous man of God. And really, he was a pedophilic Satanist who tortured and brutally raped away children's minds and bodies. And the worst thing that Matt did to me, on top of the abuse, was he spiritually raped me. For years, I didn't have a relationship with God because I looked at him as this fearful man in the sky that would strike me down if I told anybody what my rapist was doing to me. That's what he would say to me. If you tell, demons will come get you out of the bed at night. And he would get on stage and preach these hellfire brimstone messages of what a pastor is supposed to do, and then behind closed doors he was telling me what was going to happen to me if I told, and that bound me for years. I left when I was young, when I was 13, but I still kept his secrets for a long time. It took 20 years of my daughter being at risk of being exposed to him for me to do something about it. So I understand what it's like to be under those blankets of secrecy for as long. I'm making this video to spread awareness because I heard that now that Mack's out, he may be moving to Texas. I know who Mack Andrews is, and I'm telling you that he will not change. He will always have the urge to rape a child. He will always have the urge to manipulate and con people so that he can manipulate their children into sexual acts. He works on single moms. He targets people that come from hardened backgrounds. He's very charismatic. He's jolly. He's joking. People like Mack. People always liked Mack. That was the problem. People tend to just believe what he says, but he is a serial rapist with a flair for children, and that's not going to stop just because he went to prison for 5 years. Mack was supposed to serve 15 years at least on a plea deal that he made with the state of Alabama, and he's out today. He didn't even serve half of that, and I don't feel like it's right. I feel like, why would you free up somebody that you know is a serial rapist against children into your community? So we have no choice because the state fails us and things like that we have to spread awareness. So I'm gonna drop some pictures of Mack into this video so that you can see who you're dealing with. But if you want more information on this case, all you have to do is go to Google and type in Mack Andrews Pastor, MackAndrewspastor, and you can follow the links and the hyperlinks inside those articles to read about this case
and the extent of Mack's torture and who he is. It makes me sick that he's out. It's very upsetting to me. I feel like the past few years have been the only peace I ever had in my life, and now I don't have that anymore because I feel responsible for him being out on the street, knowing that there's some little girl somewhere that's going to catch his wrath sooner or later. And there's nothing I can do about it because the state failed us all when they let him out of prison. So please spread this video to spread awareness about who he is and where he is. Clarke County, Alabama is where he was released to. Jackson, Alabama. I know that he'll probably have to register as a sex offender. He lives out on Mack Bay Road in Jackson. If we don't do anything about it, and if we don't protect our loved ones and our children, they will be the next victim. This is the guy that you worry about getting to your kids. He's the one that you're worried about being the peeping Tom or taking your kid and hurting them. He's the one that you fear. This is him, and he is out, and he's walking around, and you can thank the district attorney of Clarke County for that, because he's the one that created the plea deal that allowed him to be out on good behavior today. I don't know what part of good behavior Mack had. I don't know if it was when he was sticking Sharpies in me or crayons, or when he had eagle talons in my butthole. I don't know if it's when he was on my dad's grave taking my virginity and I watched the blood spill out, or when he held me down in the baptistry tank to wash me off before church after he had raped me, or when he was holding me up to the ceiling tile sticking his fingers in me in the voice of looking for something upstairs. Or maybe it was when we would go on the youth trips to Montgomery, to the skating rings, and he would have me spend the night with his daughters, and he would wake me up in the middle of the night to make me get in his bed. Maybe that's the good behavior that they rewarded him for. So thank you, Spencer. You're the best. I'm sorry, I'm angry, I'm livid, and I want the whole world to know who Mack Andrews is, and that he is a serial child rapist that will never change. So beware. Thank you.